What's up everybody, Chris Langan here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the double stroke roll. So a few of my students have recently begun working on their doubles, and I was quickly reminded every time I start teaching this to a student, I'm quickly reminded how difficult it really is to relay the information, especially when you've only got 30 minutes to do it. I oftentimes wish I could just jump into their hands so that they can feel what I'm doing, because visually sometimes it's hard to understand what's actually happening. So what I wanted to do and what I thought would be the best thing to do would be to make a series of videos talking about the double stroke roll. We'll talk about grip, rebound, fulcrum, do some exercises that can help you learn how to control it and just get better at it. So before we jump in, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Make sure to like this video and ring that notification bell so you'll always be aware of new uploads to the channel. All right, let's dive in. All right, guys, so today we're just going to be covering a couple steps. My goal is to get you acquainted with the fulcrum of the stick, get you feeling what a rebound stroke feels like, and just playing a simple exercise to get the motion going. All right, so let's start off with identifying the fulcrum. What is a fulcrum? Well, it is the balance point or hinge point of the stick. Think of teeter-totter on a playground, or even your front door. Your door hangs on a hinge, which allows it to open and close. Well, a stick also has a fulcrum point, and it's generally about a third of the way up the stick, so right about here. What you can actually do is take the stick and divide it into 3 equal parts. The part closest to the butt end of the stick is going to be your fulcrum. It's in and around this area. The fulcrum is what allows the stick to rebound and bounce. If I were to hold the stick further towards the middle, we're not going to get any bounce. If I held it all the way towards the back, we get like an initial bounce and then it just dies out. If I place my fingers on the fulcrum, we get multiple bounces. But we're not looking for multiple bounces today. We're looking for one rebound. So a lot of people play with a fulcrum using their pointer and middle finger. I do too, a lot of the time. But when it comes to double strokes, I find that it's just easier for me to execute when I shift the fulcrum over to my middle finger. Basically what I'm doing is cradling the stick in the fulcrum point with my middle finger. Okay? Now, what you want to do is lay the stick in your middle finger, cradle it, and then the other fingers are just going to wrap around gently. Now, be sure that when you look down at your hand, you aren't seeing your thumbnail. You actually want to see the top of your hand. Okay? See how my middle finger is supporting the stick and I can see the top of my hand? That's what we want. The middle finger is acting as a hinge. So when I throw the stick down, it has somewhere to rotate on. Now, that doesn't mean that the rest of my fingers should be flying away. You actually do want those fingers wrapped gently around the stick. So let me show you what happens when I throw down the stick. It bounces back up to me, and that's what we want. Now, in order for that to happen, I need to relax these fingers and let them just flow with the butt end of the stick. Because what happens is when the tip of the stick hits the pad, it rebounds, causing the butt end of the stick to fly out. Let your fingers follow that stick on its way out. Also, keep in mind, we need a little bit of force in order to get that stick to bounce. just as you would dribble a basketball. You got to throw it down with a little bit of force in order for it to come back up to your hand. Same thing with the stick. We're basically dribbling the stick. It's flying right back, and as you can see, my fingers are following the stick out as it rotates on my middle finger. So let's just try that a few times. Okay. Notice I'm not doing anything. I'm not pulling the stick back up. I'm allowing it to just travel back up on its own rebound. Okay. The next step, after the stick comes up, we basically want to let gravity take over and pull the stick down for the second stroke. Notice that I'm not picking it up and then putting it back down. It's all happening in one motion. Just as my fingers follow the stick out, on its return to the pad, the fingers follow the stick back in. Much like playing with a yo-yo. As you throw the yo-yo down, your fingers kind of open up. As it returns to your hand, pull your fingers back in. Okay, now, once you've got that, make sure you try it with your left hand as well. The reason I'm showing you my right hand predominantly is because you can actually see the inside. It's a little bit harder to see my left hand and what's actually happening. The stick is still rotating on my middle finger. So once you've got that going with both hands, all I want you to do is take your metronome, set it to around 55 beats per minute, and play eighth notes, okay? So the first note is going to be your initial downstroke. The and is going to be when gravity takes over and lets the stick come down for a second hit. 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and, 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and. Okay, we can time that a little bit better with the use of a metronome, so let me put that on for us now. 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and. Okay, as you could see, guys, I was in no way assisting with the second stroke. My starting point is up here. I throw the stick down. It rebounds, kicks out the butt end of the stick, and then gravity takes over, and I get my second stroke. Upon that second stroke, I reset my hand to the beginning position. Okay, you want to do that with your left hand as well. And once you are comfortable doing it with both hands, I want you to try doing the same thing, putting on a metronome and playing eighth notes, but this time alternating hands. So like this. Now, one more time, I want to reiterate this. It's very, very important that you keep the rest of your fingers in contact with the stick. We don't want pinkies flying away or anything like that. We want to train our fingers to just move with the stick as it goes. The reason that we need to keep contact with these fingers is to keep control over the stick. We want it to come down, rebound in a straight line. You'll see that if you take these fingers away, the stick starts getting all wonky and wants to go all over the place. So that is all we really need those fingers for right now, is to keep control over the stick. All right? Now, you want to keep them nice and relaxed again, because there needs to be movement here. If these fingers are rigid and you have a tight grip on it, the stick's not going to be able to move. Okay, so nice and relaxed. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today. Spend some time with this. There's no need to go really, really fast. You want to just, you want your body to get used to those motions and how that feels, so that it becomes second nature to you. And in the next video, we'll explore some more things, some more technique, and look at some more exercises. All right, guys, make sure you subscribe, like this video, share it with your drummer friends, and hit that notification bell so that you're reminded next time I upload a video. See you guys later.